You are watching a girl crying across the room. A Hollywood film would have been closer by now. It would have put you in front of her face, but the directors refused to do so. Edward Young's Yi and Kurita Hirokazu's Nobody Knows use the same formal technique, what I'll call the withholding cameras from now. Instead of the close-up, the reaction shot, and the expression cuts used by the mainstream cinema, Young and Kurita use the camera at a distance, holds its length, and by doing so does not intervene in the naturalistic emotion of the characters. So what is the withholding camera? I'll define 3 techniques that show up in both films. The first is distance. It is the inherent social distance, a camera that refuses to come close. This scene is an ordinary evening in Jan household. MJ, Tintin, Yang and Popo's caretakers sit around the table. Popo herself lies in a coma next room. Yang keeps the camera across the room. In one master shot, no close-up, no reverse shots. He shoots it this way because the distance between a camera and a family is the same distance the family has developed from each other. Kurita does the same. In this scene, Akira is fulfilling his sister's dream of seeing airplanes. The camera is wide in distance. You can describe it as observational rather than judgmental. He holds a wide shot because moving closer would interrupt the flow. This is how the film simply let them be. The second feature is duration. MJ stands alone at the window after returning from Tokyo. His first love is gone again. His business deal has collapsed. Young shoots him from behind White and holds. He holds because the grief MJ carries is not a single reaction. It is a weight accumulated over years. The close-up will flatten it into one expression. The long hold tells you this is now what his whole life feels like. The third feature is showing and not telling. Neither film explains its character's feeling. No voiceover and even no music. In Yi's most devastating conversation, MJ and Minmin sat at different ends of the bed and state plainly what they have each realized, that the outside world has nothing to offer to them. Young gave through one wide shot, no music. He trusts the viewers to see it.
一大堆，真的是没有那么。
Now, the same technique can mean 2 very different things depending on what's his point at. In EE, Young used a withholding camera to diagnose one kind of a family failure. A family failing from complications. Too many private lives inside one household. Too many crises running in parallel. The film opens with a wedding and ends with a funeral. And in between, every Jan member is living something the other can't see. Young sets a logic in the opening. Adi's wedding should be a ritual of the extended family coming together. Young shoots the fact from a distance, body blocking the frame. The withholding says from the first minute, the ritual that used to bind this family together don't work anymore. The camera refuses to pretend they do. Young's signature camera is frame within frames, shooting through glass, reflection, and windows. When MJ runs into his first love Sherry in a hotel elevator, Young places them inside a box of mirror surface. The shot is double again, never resolved into a close-up. The withholding says MJ's feelings are not available for direct viewing. 30 years of meditation sits between him and the woman in front of him. Young uses the same technique on MJ's brother-in-law. Adi meets his ex-girlfriend in a cafe to deal with their mess. She hasn't let go, he's just married Xiaoyan. Young places his camera outside the cafe, shooting through the window. The glass is the subject, the street noise drowns the dialogue. The withholding says Adi is yet another private storm inside this family. Young's boldest move is structural. Sherry tells MJ, "Look, this is like the crossing near our stroll." The withholding says the father and daughter are having the same inner experience, and we'll never know. The cuts let the viewer to see what the family was structurally unable to share. Young shows us what people can't see, diagnosing the reflexive modernity, where the structure meant to hold families together ended up pulling them apart. Now here's a pivot. The same withholding camera used by Kurita diagnosed the opposite direction. If Jan family is falling from excess, Fukushima family is from her absence. Same techniques, opposite social diagnosis. The title of the film is the thesis, Nobody Knows. Not because the truth is hidden, but because the Japanese society refused to see it. Nobody Knows opens with Keiko moving Akira into the new Tokyo apartment. Shigeru and Yuki, the 2 youngest, are smuggled in by suitcase. Keiko arrives separately by train. Kurita films the concealment quietly without dramatic emphasis. This invisibility is not an event to be dramatized. It's already an everyday condition of these children inside modern Tokyo. Early in the film, Akira watched Keiko cry in her sleep, and watches her bring up with the performance she taught herself to maintain. Kurita holds the shot, no music, no commentary, just Akira looking at his mother. The withholding says Keiko is not the villain the film could easily make her. She is a single mother with 4 children by 4 different men, struggling in Japan that has no place for her. The camera refuses to let the viewer just write her off. When she leaves for good, Kurita does something radical. He doesn't film the departure, no farewell, no confrontation. Keiko leaves a note, "Dear Akira, please look after Kyoko, Shigeru, and Yuki," and is simply gone. Envelopes of money arrive for a while, then they stop. Absent is the edit. The withholding says abandonment is not a single moment the camera can stage. It's a slow erosion, and the only honest way to show it is to cut to goodbye. Akira takes his last coins to a payphone, calls his mother's workplace, and learns she resigned a month ago. He drops coin after coin in the slot until they're gone and he's disconnected. He bends his head against the phone, clearly, and cuts away from him entirely. Onto a wide shot of the empty suburban intersection, a vending machine, the payphone, and nothing else. The scene abandons Akira inside the camera leaves him the way his mother has, and the lifeless intersection becomes the argument. This is the scene the film is named for. The landlady comes to the apartment and sees it. The mess, the children, no parent. She holds her dog in her arms, she shrugs, she walks away. Clearly keeps the camera neutral. No close-up to her face. This is one of the most disturbing things in a film, and it is, because nothing happens. This is how nobody knows actually works. The title isn't literal, she knows. The society around these children knows, and the camera holds without dramatization. Saki reaches over and touches Akira's hand. No dialogue, no music, just two children and a hand touching a hand. This is the emotion of the film, a single gesture between two children, carrying the weight that the whole society around pushes onto them. The film ends quietly. The surviving children, Akira, Kyoko, Shigeru, and Saki walked home to Tokyo with leftover food. The observational camera says that any other ending will lie. Yuki's death changed nothing. Nobody noticed. The camera holds the truth without consolation. Parents neglect the children, and Japanese society let it happen. The same with holding camera, to opposite diagnosis. Young's Chen family has everything modernity promised and still can't reach each other. Koreda's Fukushima family has nothing, and no one outside will look. The two faces of one condition, the contemporary East Asian family dissolving at both ends of the social ladder.